Ladies and gentlemen, fish fans and pirate enthusiasts, get ready to dive deep into the underwater world of one of the most notorious saw shark fishmen to ever sail the Grand Line. It's time to sharpen your knowledge as we embark on a journey through the razor-sharp anatomy and tangled history of the infamous Arlong the Saw. Arlong, the captain of the fearsome Arlong pirates, isn't your typical fishman. With a rap sheet that includes piracy, racketeering, and even a bit of family drama, this sharp-toothed marauder has left a trail of chaos in his wake. But don't let his aquatic antics fool you, there's more to Arlong than meets the fin. From his ties to the enigmatic sun pirates to his unexpected pardon from Impel Down, there's a tale as twisty as a sea serpent lurking beneath the surface. Join us as we dissect the man responsible for some of the East Blue's most nefarious deeds, from Belmare's tragic end to his cunning plan to enlist the brilliant Nami in his treacherous quest for domination. Get ready for a deep dive into the anatomy, history, and notoriety of Arlong the Saw, the primary antagonist of the unforgettable Arlong Park arc. Before we get into our explanation though, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Who is Arlong? What is his personality? Ahoy there, landlubbers and sea creatures alike! Let us dive into the depths of the enigmatic Arlong, the saw shark fishman with a personality as sharp as his teeth. Arlong, that infamous captain of the Arlong pirates, may have been all fins and scales, but there's a lot more to him than meets the eye. First off, Arlong's personality could be described as, let us say, complicated. He has a serious superiority complex when it comes to humans, and he thinks they're about as useful as a fish out of water. Arlong's cruelty knows no bounds, and he has a knack for making a tidy profit from his nefarious dealings, even if he is as tight-fisted as a clam. Now, if there's one thing Arlong truly adores, it's money. He's so thrifty he makes Scrooge McDuck look like a spendthrift. Money is good, he declares, and he's not about to let anyone forget it. But don't be fooled by his love for belly. He also has a taste for power and conquest. After all, the East Blue was his oyster, and he aimed to slurp it up. But what truly sets Arlong apart is his knack for spotting talent, even if he's more slippery than a squid when it comes to keeping his promises. He used Nami and her cartography skills like a true pirate mastermind, all in the name of conquering the Blue Sea. Now, don't think Arlong is all business and no play. This saw shark fishman has a temper as fiery as a volcano beneath the sea. He can go from cool and collected to a raging tempest faster than you can say shark bait. When Luffy got under his scales and refused to be fish food, Arlong's anger turned him into a one-fish wrecking crew, causing chaos even in his own headquarters. But beneath that shark-like exterior, there's a hint of brotherhood in Arlong. He cared for his crew and could not bear to lose Nami's talent, even if it meant resorting to some less than honorable methods. In his own twisted way, he considered Nami part of the crew, and he would fight tooth and nail to keep her there. So there you have it, folks, the anatomy of Arlong's personality, a complex mix of cruelty, cunning, and camaraderie. He may have been a menace to the East Blue, but he's a character you will not forget in the wild world of One Piece. Sha ha 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 indeed.
Welcome to Arlong Park.
What kind of a fish is he? Let's take a closer look at the dashing and fearsome Arlong, the saw shark fishman with a sense of style as sharp as his serrated snout. First things first, Arlong is no ordinary fishy fellow. He has muscles that would make a bodybuilder jellyfish green with envy. His light blue complexion glistens like a sapphire beneath the sea, and his most distinctive feature is that magnificent saw-shaped nose of his. Talk about making a fashion statement, he has the kind of facial flair that is sure to leave a lasting impression. But it's not just his nose that sets him apart. Arlong has a head of flowing black locks that cascade down to his shoulders, forming a widow's peak that even Dracula would envy. And to top it all off, he has a Ushanka perched regally on his cranium, because even pirate captains need a bit of headwear panache. Let's not forget those gills. They're discreetly located on both sides of his neck, allowing him to breathe freely underwater and flaunt his aquatic heritage. His fin, nestled amidst his hair on his nape, is like a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Now, Arlong is not one to shy away from ink, and he proudly proudly sports a sun pirate's tattoo on his chest as a nod to his roots. But what is a pirate without his own Jolly Roger? Arlong has his own insignia inked onto his left forearm, a symbol of his indomitable spirit and his quest for domination. Fashion-wise, this fishman means business. He's all about that chic thug life, donning a snazzy cabana shirt with black lightning-like spots that practically scream, "I'm here to make a splash." Bermuda shorts, whether brown or green depending on the medium, complete his casual yet stylish ensemble. A purple sash tied around his waist adds that extra bit of flair, and simple sandals are the footwear of choice for a pirate with places to be. But what truly makes Arlong the king of bling are the accessories. Golden chains and bracelets adorn his wrists and ankles, with straw-like decorations hanging effortlessly. And those rings? Well, they're not rings at all. Arlong's webbed hands will not allow for such baubles, so he's opted for piercings that go straight through his fingers, making him one sharp-dressed fishman. In his earlier pirate days with the Sun Pirates, Arlong had a more nautical, laid-back style. A sleeveless shirt with flower-like motifs, a bowler hat, and loose pants made up his attire. Earrings as big as sea urchins dangled from his ears, and his legs were adorned with light-colored pants featuring unique spotted patterns. During one of his infamous raids, he upped his fashion game with a long green scarf draped casually over his shoulders and a dark green coat to keep him warm during his underwater escapades. Beige Bermuda shorts with a chain-like pattern and a green sash tied his look together, and instead of the iconic Ushanka, he opted for a simple dark gray hat atop his head. So there you have it, a glimpse into the sartorial choices of the one and only Arlong, a fishman with a nose for style, a taste for the finer things, and a wardrobe as diverse as the seven seas.
You ready to die?
How strong is he? Gather around as we delve into the brawny depths of Arlong's impressive physical prowess. This Shaw Shark fishman is not just your run-of-the-mill aquatic antagonist, he's a force to be reckoned with, and his strength can rival even the mightiest of sea monsters. Now, as a fishman, Arlong boasts strength that's 10 times greater than that of your average land-dwelling human, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. When he's submerged in the briny depths, his power level shoots up faster than a cannonball from a pirate ship. It's like he has his own secret power-up button, and it's labeled Aquatic Awesomeness. To put his incredible might into perspective, picture this. Arlong once casually lifted a whole house with his bare hands, as if it were a sandcastle at low tide. And when it comes to those shark-like jaws of his, they're not just for show. They can shatter metal, crush stone, and rip through flesh as easily as a pirate swiping a treasure chest. Now, let's talk about resilience. Arlong is tougher than barnacles on a ship's hull. He squared off against the rubbery whirlwind that is Monkey D. Luffy and weathered a storm of attacks. Luffy threw everything he had at Arlong, from punches to kicks to stretches that would make an octopus jealous. And what did Arlong do? He shrugged them off like a seagull shaking off sea spray. But here's where it gets truly remarkable. Arlong's resistance to pain is off the charts. During his epic battle with Luffy, he ripped off sets of his rapidly regenerating teeth as if they were sunflower seeds at a picnic. And just to prove a point, he rearranged his broken nose without so much as a wince. It's as if pain is just a passing inconvenience to this fishy fiend. But wait, there's more. When Arlong gets his fins in a twist and enters a berserk mode, things get downright fishy. His eyes take on an eerie Sea King-like appearance, and suddenly he's not just strong, he's a force of nature. His strength and speed skyrocket faster than a cannonball at full blast, making him more dangerous than a kraken with a grudge. So that is the astonishing physical abilities of Arlong, the saw shark fishman with muscles that could make even Poseidon jealous. When this aquatic menace gets into the fray, you had better be ready for a showdown that's as deep, dark, and wild as the Grand Line itself. Does Arlong have any family? It's time to plunge into the depths of Arlong's family tree, and let me tell you, it has more twists and turns than a kraken's tentacle tango. Allow me to introduce Madame Charlie, the enigmatic half-sister of the notorious Arlong. Now, family dynamics can be a real sea monster to navigate, and these two fishy siblings are no exception. While we haven't seen them engage in any sibling rivalry or fin-to-fin squabbles, they certainly have their differences. On one side, you have Arlong, the saw shark fishman with a serious grudge against humanity. He's as bitter as a sour sea cucumber when it comes to folks on dry land, and he's made quite the name for himself terrorizing the East Blue. But then, there's Madame Charlie, the serene and mysterious proprietor of the Mermaid Cafe. She has a different take on humanity, a more accepting perspective. Perhaps she's seen the good in humans, or maybe she just knows the power of a well-brewed cup of seaweed tea. Now, here's the twist in the tale. When they were younger, Arlong was actually willing to take care of Charlie. Can you imagine that? The fearsome pirate captain playing the protective big brother? It's enough to make your barnacles bristle. So while these two may have their ideological differences, they share a bloodline that's as deep as the ocean itself. It just goes to show that even in a world of pirates and fishmen, family ties can be as unpredictable as the tides. The tale of Arlong and Charlie, a pair of siblings swimming in opposite currents of belief, adds yet another layer to the rich tapestry of One Piece's characters and their relationships. Can he regrow his teeth? Get ready to sink your teeth into a jaw-dropping revelation about the one and only Arlong's pearly whites. You see, Arlong isn't just any ordinary fishman when it comes to his dental prowess. He's got a set of chompers that would make even a great white shark jealous. Picture this: Arlong, the fearsome captain of the Arlong pirates, bearing not one, not two, but 3 sets of teeth, one in each hand, and of course, the main attraction right there in his mouth. It's like a dentist's nightmare and a dentist's dream all rolled into one. But here's where it gets even more jaw-dropping. Arlong can actually remove those massive teeth and use them as handheld bear traps. I mean, who needs swords or pistols when you have dental weaponry at your disposal, am I right? And just when you thought it couldn't get any more astonishing, his teeth can regrow in the blink of a barnacle's eye. Yeah, you heard that right. Arlong's teeth regenerate faster than you can say Pirates of the Grand Line. And the kicker? Each regrown set of teeth is stronger than the one before. It's like Mother Nature's own version of a dental upgrade. Now, you might be thinking, can't those teeth be used against him? Well, you're absolutely correct. The rubbery wonder that is Monkey D. Luffy demonstrated that Arlong's teeth can be turned against him, either by holding them in his hands or fitting them right back into his own mouth and biting his opponents with them. Talk about a biting comeback. But here's the catch. Arlong claims that only a fishman like himself can fully unleash the true power of these pearly white weapons. He has jaw muscles that could crush a cannonball, and that's not something your average human can boast. So there's a glimpse into the world of Arlong's strong teeth, a scary fishman with an arsenal of dental weaponry that can make even the bravest pirates think twice about challenging him. Tooth gum, shark teeth, shark on tooth, this pirate has a bite that is as fierce as his reputation on the high seas.
Begin.
Does he have devil fruit powers? Gather round as we dive headfirst into the enigmatic depths of Arlong's powers, or lack thereof when it comes to a certain devil fruit. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, so brace yourselves for a tidal wave of information. First and foremost, let's address the whale, or should I say the fishman in the room. Arlong, the captain of the Arlong pirates, ruled his crew with an iron, or should I say fishy fin. He was a superior force in the East Blue, and his power was nothing to scoff at. In fact, he was considered a greater threat than Don Krieg, the East Blue's strongest military force, and his massive armada. The Marines knew when to sound the alarm bells, and they certainly did so when it came to Arlong. Now, here's where things get interesting. Arlong was not the least bit fazed by Monkey D. Luffy's devil fruit powers. In fact, he saw Luffy's weakness to the effects of seawater as an opportunity rather than a hindrance. You see, Luffy's powers made him as buoyant as a barrel, and Arlong quickly took advantage of that weakness. If it weren't for the timely intervention of the Straw Hat Pirates, East Blue might have ended up under Arlong's watery rule. But here's the kicker. Arlong didn't possess devil fruit powers himself. He was as natural as a fish in the sea with no fruity enhancements to speak of. Instead, he relied on his sheer physical prowess, which was nothing short of awe-inspiring. Being a fishman, he boasted strength that was 10 times greater than your run-of-the-mill landlubber. And when he was in his element, underwater, he was practically an aquatic juggernaut. So there you have it, me hearties. Arlong, the fearsome fishman with a jaw-dropping array of physical abilities and attacks. Devil fruit powers? Who needs them when you are as fearsome as this aquatic menace? When Arlong's in the picture, you had better be prepared for a showdown that's as deep and unpredictable as the Grand Line itself. What kind of weapons does he use? It's time to explore the fearsome arsenal of Arlong, the saw shark fishman with a nose for trouble and a penchant for pummeling. Now, Arlong's weapons are as unique as his fishy appearance. First up, let us talk about that magnificent schnoz of his. It's not your run-of-the-mill nose, it's over a foot long, lined with razor-sharp edges, and as sturdy as a cannonball. Arlong is proud of his proboscis and has every right to be. He claims that his nose is unbreakable, and he's not shy about using it as a melee weapon. In a showdown with the great great swordsman Zoro, Arlong swung his head back and forth like a crazed mariner in a sword fight. Despite Zoro's sword skills, Arlong's nose proved mightier than the cutlass. It's the kind of nose that can turn even a battle-hardened pirate into a splintered mess. And if you thought that was impressive, Arlong's nose also doubles as a torpedo. That's right, he can shoot himself at his opponent like a guided missile, using his sharp nose to pierce through anything in his path. When he unleashes this attack from the water, it's like a lightning-fast aquatic strike. They call it shark on darts, and trust me, it's as deadly as it sounds. Shark darts, shark and awe, it's a nose that packs a punch. But that's not all, dear viewers. Arlong has got another weapon up his scaly sleeve, the Karabachi. It's a giant serrated blade that he wields with the finesse of a master swordsman. This weapon is so great that Arlong can slice through buildings like a hot knife through butter, and he's had it since his younger days, back when he was a part of the Sun Pirates. It's a blade that's as sharp as his wit and as deadly as his bite. So that covers the impressive weaponry of Arlong, a nose that can cut like a razor and a blade that can cleave through the toughest of obstacles. When this saw shark fishman comes at you, you had better be prepared for a showdown that's as sharp as his teeth and as fierce as the sea itself. Is Arlong still alive? It's time to clear the fog and set the record straight about the notorious Arlong's fate in the world of One Piece. This saw shark fishman is like a cat with 9 lives. He's still very much among the living, and his tale is far from over. So here's the scoop, me hearties. Arlong did not meet his watery end in the series. The last we saw of him, he was captured by the Marines following his epic showdown with the rubbery marvel, Monkey D. Luffy, during the Arlong Park arc. But here's where it gets interesting. Arlong's fate took a twist as dramatic as a tempest at sea. Instead of facing swift justice, he found himself entangled in the chaotic web of the Paramount War, also known as the Battle of Marineford. This epic clash brought together some of the mightiest figures from both the pirate and marine worlds, creating a storm of unprecedented proportions. And guess what, me hearties? Arlong was among the prisoners who managed to catch a break amid the chaos of the war. He was granted a temporary reprieve from his sentence. But let's be clear, this does not mean he's off the hook for his past misdeeds. The world of One Piece is vast and full of complexity, and justice has a long reach. Arlong's survival and temporary freedom serve as a reminder that the sea of One Piece is teeming with intriguing characters and unexpected twists of fate. As the series sails ever onward, there may well be more to Arlong's story than meets the eye. The tides of justice can be slow to turn, but they rarely rest for long. So fear not, me hearties. Arlong is still swimming in the vast sea of One Piece, and who knows what future adventures and reckonings await him. To stay in the loop and navigate the turbulent waters of the series, keep your compass pointed toward official releases and updates from the creators and the One Piece manga and anime. The grand line awaits, and with it, the unfolding tales of pirates and fishmen alike. Marvelous verdict! As we close the chapter on our exploration of Arlong the Saw and his tumultuous journey through the high seas of One Piece, we're left with a mixture of awe and astonishment. Arlong's story is a testament to the complexity of the characters in the world of pirates and fishmen, where loyalties shift like tides and motivations run as deep as the ocean itself. From his origins as a member of the Sun Pirates to his reign of terror as captain of the Arlong Pirates, Arlong's path was filled with highs and lows, alliances and betrayals. His ambitions to conquer the East Blue and his ruthless exploitation of Nami's cartography skills showcased the depths of his cunning. Yet, as with all great tales, justice prevails in the form of Monkey D. Luffy, who defeated Arlong and brought an end to his reign of terror. Arlong's downfall reminds us that even the mightiest of foes can be vanquished when faced with unwavering determination and the bonds of friendship. In our journey through the anatomy of Arlong's character and the history of his actions, we've peeled back the layers of a complex antagonist and unraveled the web of his influence on the world of pirates. Arlong the Saw may have been a menacing figure, but his story serves as a testament to the rich storytelling of the One Piece universe. So, as we bid farewell to the world of Arlong and its treacherous waters, let us remember that the Grand Line is filled with characters of all shapes and sizes, each with their own tales to tell and their own destinies to fulfill. Arlong's legacy may be one of infamy, but it is a legacy that will forever be etched into the annals of the One Piece saga. That's all for today, but if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.